The revolution is upon us. The future of physical music is in our hands. Join the fight. This is the WaxCast.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us with another live stream of the WaxCast. As you can see, it looks a little bit different in here today. They were thinking about canceling this originally, but by God, I wanted to do this one this week real bad. But we still have a guest with us here today. I'm going to call him a special guest since he wasn't originally going to be here. So live from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, we have TJ.
Hello, vinyl community. Yeah, I'm not a special guest, man. I'm just usually in the other chair, and I got some family obligations, but you roped me into this, so it's all your fault.
Right now, I'm enjoying this free space. I'm even sitting in your chair this week.
Here, dude.
All right, so let's get back to what we're doing here. This week,
I don't know. No.
Actually, I'm going to cut in right now and start off by saying this. So TJ, obviously, he's in a completely different area. So we might get good, bad connection with him every now and then. His voice is going to sound tinny and all that kind of stuff. So just forgive us, okay? We're trying something new, and we're hoping it turns out cool. Okay, let's get back to the WaxCast. This week, guys, we had some recent stuff come up with Deluxe packaging, and there's been a lot of unique things that have come out here and there. And if you guys saw us write an article earlier this week about Deluxe packaging, that's really what we're going to be diving into. I'm going to go ahead and send this off to TJ, and let's see where you want to start it out at.
Thanks, Sandy. Earlier this week, we put an article on the website, Deluxe Packaging. It's something that we came to hearing a lot about, a frustration about from a lot of different owners and collectors alike while we were in Texas for our record store day road trip. And the common argument is that vinyl is becoming more popular, and the format is becoming packaging is becoming more elaborate in effort by the labels. And this is something that has gone far beyond just a colored disc or extra pictures. We're talking huge elaborate pop-outs, fold-outs, things like that. And it's gotten excessive to the point where it is simply one more thing, and it's simply, and that's the frustration there, because that is a cost that the independent record stores have no choice but to turn over to the customer. And therefore, therein lies the problem. If you read the article, though, you noted I made a good point in there that elaborate package is essential to the future of the format, of the vinyl format. And there's a lot that would disagree with me on that point, because there is a healthy market that just plain loves the format. We're us included. But that being said, a big reason of the vinyl comeback is because it is unique. In the day and age when you're competing with a digital download and the convenience, if you want vinyl to stand out, it's got to stand out big. If it's got to be a statement, it's got to be a big statement. If it's got to be a badge of identity, it better be a serious one. That is why it's a necessary evil. And that's the problem with that, is that it is essential to the format to survive.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on every single point with that one. The one of the points that you hit on there is with the independent record stores, with this Deluxe packaging coming out the way that it's coming out, it makes it tough for them, because you'll have certain artists that are only releasing that album on that extremely deluxe through 3x 4x LP box set or whatever, selling it for anywhere from $75 to $250, and they're expecting the stores to be able to sell that to their regular customers, when those customers are only coming in hopes for that single LP album, just for the purpose of listening to the music. Now you have these people coming out with these deluxe packages that are $250. Well, I mean, there's rare cases where I'll spend that kind of money on a deluxe package, but when I only want to listen to the music, just the music, I want to be able to have just that black wax, 12-track vinyl for me to be able to just to dive into the music and listen to that. If it's an artist that I'm absolutely in love with, I'm going to show you guys this here. Hold on, let me solo screen this. I am a huge Weird Al fan, one of the biggest Weird Al fans out there, probably. I'm not going to say the biggest one because I know I'm not the biggest, but when he comes out with something like this, a replica of his accordion, where don't you dare laugh at me for this, where a lot of these records weren't released on vinyl before, and so the appeal of that, to be able to actually listen to this, first time release on vinyl, I'm going to spend $300 on that. But again, I'm a true fan of this particular artist. There's not a lot of people out there that are going to be buying something like this. So that's one area where I have an issue when it comes to deluxe packaging.
Sure. I think you made a good point in there, Andy, in that you said a lot of people just want to hear the music, and that where the problem with that is that I understand the appeal of a very reasonable price point for an LP for people like myself who just want to hear the music. But if that's the only thing you're putting out vinyl for, it will fail, because if you just want to hear the music, I can do that on the phone. If you just want to hear the music, I can put that on YouTube. And you're taking sales, physical music stores out of the I know we are in the minority when we argue this point from the vinyl community to say that this deluxe packaging, it without it, the format will either find a very small audience or roll up and die completely. But there is also where it reaches levels of ridiculousness that don't benefit the collector, the community, or anything.
Let me. I'm going to kind of interrupt you right here. I'm going to pop up this picture here real quick. Something recently that we just put up. I'm going to have you talk about this a little bit, about Miley Cyrus's urine. Go ahead, TJ.
We've been doing this website since 2012, and I was hoping that I would never have to talk about Miley Cyrus's urine. But for those who are in the dark, good for you. Wayne, the lead singer of the Flaming Lips, recently, actually announced a while back, in his constant effort to one-up all the Flaming Lip releases, he suggested and even alluded that he's trying to put Miley Cyrus urine in the record. And this isn't the first time he's taken the dive or the foray into bodily fluids and records. There was the Kesha blood incident and things like that. And nothing against the Flaming Lips, but this is not done with the love of the format, and we know that they are supporters of the vinyl format. They've done some big off the wall crazy things. The Flaming Lips have done it, and they keep thinking they got to keep one up in themselves, and this is their next. If this is their next logical step, I'm done with them, because this is just too far. And my argument here is that this move is not done with any intention of furthering the format. It's not done with anything of the love of the format or supporting the stores. Hell, I'm going to argue that this has nothing to do with the music on the record. This is nothing more than a publicity stunt.
Uh-huh. I mean, when I saw this article, I still don't know what to say about this. Who is it, a fetish thing? Is that what they're trying to do here? If that's the case, Miley, just take it to a porn site or something. We don't need this in our records. This hurts my brain. It really hurts my brain. And I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Just I think it's what convinces me that it's nothing more than a publicity stunt is, and he tried with the whole Kesha Blood thing, and I don't think it got enough traction, is that his idea is, what can I put in these records that is going to, trip more people's trigger and make it talk about it. And he's succeeding. Here we are. We're talking about it. We're talking about this stupid record.
I want to interrupt you here real quick, just because we got a comment. I'm sorry, Mark, if I pronounce your last name wrong. Serdorius, right? That's it, Mark Serdorius.
That is Mark with a C. Watch your mouth.
I know it's Mark with a C. I can never pronounce his last name right, though. That's our in-house resident, interviewer. Okay, but he says, wait, the Flaming Lips.
DIY musician.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, the Flaming Lips.
Yeah.
Publicity stunt. Say it ain't so. Yes, Mark. What else? I mean, what else could this be for them? It's a horrible route for them to go. It makes me want to quit on them forever.
I'm gonna throw it out here, though. I mean, and maybe Mark wants to comment on this. And Mark, I can't see your comments, but am I the only one who was over the Flaming Lips about 8-10 years ago? I mean, I haven't heard much that really tripped my trigger. I mean, am I the only one? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. I want to know.
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of over it. Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, back to our original statement, though. How far is too far? Yeah, Miley Cyrus peeing in your record. That's too far. There's another one where they're trying to do, what was it? Weed residue. They were trying to make a record out of weed residue.
I think the band was called Slightly Stupid, which is exactly what I'd call this project. Using a type of residue, they actually succeeded, and if I recall, one of the websites that actually heard the record said it was, and the publicity stunt ended up costing $7,000.
Okay, so was it worth it in the end?
But that's my point. I mean, this exceptionally, this really, even more than the Miley P record, this is a record that is A, mostly unplayable, B, probably costs more than what you're going to return in the investment, and three,
let me cut you off right here.
It may or may not be available to the public.
I got to cut you off right here. When you say it's mostly unplayable, I'm sorry. I don't want Miley Cyrus's pee touching my needle. That is an unplayable record, my brother. Let me, Mark comes back with us, regarding your Flaming Lips comments. He's been over them for a while, but I don't begrudge anyone that digs their art. Now, I will give him that. Their artwork is still amazing, but I cannot get behind them on this Miley Cyrus thing.
Interestingly enough, they were named Ringer when it record, and I'll have to dig up the article on that one.
Yeah.
But especially with this weed record is I don't know the public, so it is strictly without trying to cover it up, a publicity stunt. And but I've heard other arguments. I've read articles and talked with a couple of people that said not only elaborate packaging is one thing, but when you're introducing foreign substances into the pressing, and they are detrimental to the functioning. Now they're affecting the pressing plants. So hitting all the bad, that's going too far. I think when you are introducing bodily fluids or foreign any kind of pressing, that's just too far. And you're not doing it for the format. You're doing it for publicity.
Now here's a good one though, since you're talking about bodily fluids and putting that kind of stuff into the record. Caitlin actually brings up a really good point, and this is one of our biggest fans, Caitlin Barnaby. Thank you so much for commenting. So her question though, so then what about ashes in vinyl? That's becoming a thing for cremation. Ashes in vinyl. Oh,
and I could now. For those of you who know me and know our website, I could actually attest to this best for two reasons. One, I am a vinyl fan. Two, I'm a licensed mortician, so I'm speaking from a point of expertise on this one. Mm-hmm. As far as ashes in vinyl, I think that's what she's referring to, and the name of the company eludes me right now. But they can send out of your ashes, and they will mix it in with the vinyl when they press a record of a playlist of your. People are using it for last wills and testaments. People are using it for memorial services and things like that. It actually got its feet about 3 years ago. Now, that being said, though, I'm all for that because I think it's cool. I mean, bring it on. But I also But that's not done from a idea of marketing. That's not done from an idea of.
It's not a publicity stunt.
From sales in mind.
It's not a publicity stunt. It's an emotional attachment.
It's a one-off. Yeah, but it's a one-off emotion for your family. It has nothing to do with the music market at all. So I think that's very cool. But also, I wouldn't want to be the press operator who somebody walks in and hands me ashes and say, "Hey, this is my dad. Press him into a record."
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely. Man, is that all we have to say about records? Is that enough on it, or do people get the point?
I think people get the point. I think we always like to end these with. How do we solve it? And I think the way to solve it is to decide where is that line. And I think
we found it.
Bodily fluids is the line. Miley Cyrus's urine is the line.
Yeah. I'm still speechless with it. It's got to be a joke, right? It's a joke.
I wish it was.
All right. Well, I think that's all we can say on this one.
All right. I think I'm going to close this out, if that's cool.
Yeah, that's
cool. Totally cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us on the Evolved WaxCast. Anything from vinyl records, cremated ashes, to Miley Cyrus's pee. We've enjoyed having you on here, the WaxCast, and thank you so much for people commenting and people watching. You can subscribe on Stitcher, on iTunes, but we don't Snapchat. Just keep that in mind. But we are on Facebook and Instagram. All right. Go ahead and follow us on there. But once again, thanks so much for joining us. We do this every week, every Wednesday. It's Thursday. We're a day late.
Thursday.
Yeah, /Thursday. But when we get around to it. So to keep an eye on things, and we'll let you know when we're going to go live. Most importantly, though, we want to talk to the vinyl community. If you're watching this, you are the vinyl community, and we want to talk to you. So are you a store owner? Do you run a small independent label? We touch. Hit us up. Visit our website. I'm sure it's scrolling across the screen right now at getitонvinyl.com. Get in touch with us. We want to talk to you, and we'll put you on the WaxCast. So thanks again so much for joining us. We're going to see you next week.
Well, and I'm going to interrupt here real quick here, too, in case you didn't get a lot of that. TJ's a robot right now, so he sounds very tinny. So once again, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Stitcher, Getitonvinyl.com. Right, yeah, getitonvinyl.com. And yeah, join us next week, guys. We'll see ya.